Hello everyone and welcome to Mathematics. This video will focus on chapter 5 progressions, and let's aim ourselves to learn one thing from this video. Alright, so I'll let you all have a few seconds to go through the question first. Alright, for this question, they've given us this arithmetic progression. So the example of this progression would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. So from one number, if you want to obtain the next one, we need to add 2, correct? So for those progressions, we need to add or minus one number to get the next one. It's called an arithmetic progression, right? So going back to the question, it also gives us the sum of first n terms formula, which is this. So going to part A, we need to find the expression of Tn in the most simplest form in terms of A, B and N. So all these unknowns are from this equation. So here we don't have a clue for Tn, but they're given a clue for Sn only. So here it suggests us to find the relationship between Sn and Tn. Right, so how do we find the relationship? We can use this example. So let's say we have T1, T2 and T3 and we don't know its value. But we only know the values of the sums, S1, S2 and S3. So S2 means the sum of first two terms. So let's say we want to find T3. Okay, so in order to find T3, we can first consider the sum of all these three terms, which is S3, and we minus out those that we don't want, which is T1 and T2. So we consider their sums, which is S2. So to find T3, we can use the sum of all these three terms and minus out those we don't want. In general, it would be Tn equals to Sn minus Sn minus 1. Right, so if you sub n equals to 3, these two will be the same. Right, so this is the relationship. So now we can use this formula and sub it here. So for those in black, you can see it's there's no difference, but for the blue ones, you can see that here is n minus 1. So we need to change this equation of all the n's to become n minus 1, as you can see here. And then we expand and then we simplify it. So the answer would be 2an minus a plus b. And for part B, they've given us these two clues and we need to find the values of a and b from this Sn formula. Right, so in order to find two unknowns, we need two equations. So those equations, we can find it from these two clues. So you can sub these two clues into here to form the equations that we want. So the first clue, the n is equal to 4, so we sub n equals to 4 to this equation first. So here S4, here will be A4 square plus B4, and this S4 from the clue is 44, so you can sub it here. And since all the numbers can be divided by 4, so we can divide first to simplify it. Right, so this will be our first equation. So the second clue, the same steps as well. Alright, and this will be our second equation. So in order to find the values of a and b, we can use the substitution method. Let's say we sub the first equation to the second equation. But before that, we need to arrange the first equation first. So I will let b to be the subject. Okay, and now we can sub it in. So we found the value of a. Now we can sub back to one of the equations to find the value of b. So our values would be a equals to 2 and b equals to 3. And part C, we need to find the common difference. So here there's a bit of spelling error. This should be RENCE instead of T. Alright, so this common difference is actually our D, and from the example given just now, this plus 2 is actually D. So it's a difference between one of the terms and its next term. So here will be 4 minus 2. So remember, for D, always make sure the value that we selected, and we need to minus the previous value, not the next one. Okay? So here, the easiest way to find the common difference for this question would be we can use the equation that we got from part A, which is this Tn. Once we found T1 and T2, we can minus them together to find our common difference, right? But before that, let's sub the values the answers we got from part B, which is A equals to 2 and B equals to 3. Right, so it would be 4n plus 1, and we find T1 and T2. So here for the n, we sub 1, so we will get 5, and for T2, we sub 2 into n, so we will get 9. So in order to find the common difference, remember, T2 minus its previous value, which is T1. So here, 9 minus 5, so our difference would be 4. And with that, we have completed today's question. Alright, so the take-home point for this video would be the relationship between Tn and Sn. So this is our equation. So example, T3 would be equals to S3 minus S2. So first, we consider the sum of all these terms, which is S3, and we minus out the sum of the terms that we don't want, which is T1 and T2, which is S2. So S3 minus S2, you will get T3. Alright, and here's the answer scheme for this question, and hopefully you have learned something new from this video. So if you feel this video is beneficial to you, please give a like, subscribe, and share. Alright, so thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.